Good morning. Good afternoon. It just turned 12 o'clock here in Malaysia. And we're starting our week 2 of me versus me. Lots of growth. Here we go. The last we left off was in our weekly reflections. We talked about how we performed last week and how we're going to look to perform this week. So we're going to start off every day with our scorecard. Now, looking at the scorecard, I've had a good startup this morning. We did our daily vision, we did our trading terminal check, our alerts are set. And in fact, this morning, the price formed a high during Asia and it was right at the limit of the price going up and it didn't trigger my alert going up. And therefore, the price has now come back down a little bit. However, I'm not looking to look for a trade today because I know that the range that I need to TP and stop loss at is 2,290 pips or 2,900 points. So that's going to be quite far away. Here's the chart. We're going to go into the chart first before we log back onto the scorecards. So the range formed up here and it was very flat. There was a wick up testing Friday's high. And for all intents and purposes, it looks more likely that the price will come back to the moving averages. However, I have refrained myself from taking counter trend unless there is an actual failure back down. And my failure point is on this high from Wednesday last week, marked out in orange. And only when I see sufficient interaction downwards from this level that I would then shift my bias towards the seller during London. So we're clear that Asia is formed kind of a flat. It's possible that it may retrace 290 pips down before pushing 290 pips up. But should that 290 pips not be completed before the formation of London, which is in 3 hours, then we will look for the price to form some supports and start pushing back upwards the other way. And one of the indicators would be the aqua line on H1 crossing the weekly open, which is marked out in yellow. So as of now, I'm not in no rush. I'm quite happy to see where the price is, where it is. And in fact, I'm very stress-free because I'm not in a trade as of now. Let's go through the scorecard today. We're doing the pre-market right now. My stress levels are refreshed after the weekend. There are not a lot of things that are on my mind at the moment. I'm not in a rush to make a trade. I'm not in a rush to look for another opportunity. I'm very happy to defer my entry until London. That's the affirmation of my edge. Mentally prepared. So far, so good. We did some stretches this morning. No run today, not yet. Maybe we're gonna get that in the evening or tomorrow. Detachment from the outcome. This is something that I was quite happy to do last week. And it all stemmed from being focused on the inputs. So as I am doing today, I'm very much focused on the inputs. I'm controlling what I'm supposed to control and leaving the rest up to the market. My C game trigger, so far we haven't triggered any over the last week, but it's also because we've very much simplified and returned to the core of our trading edge, which is one and done. Every session, one and done. And one of the things that was mentioned in our group call last night with Coach was how I've physically set up a barrier between my entry point and my day-to-day routine. I do not trade on this terminal. We may see this is actually an active terminal. I'm able to take trades on here. Yes, but I physically do not allow myself to do so. All my execution are on my VPS server, which I've shared in another video, link in the description. So that has helped me stay away from a lot of my C game trigger, which is taking over trading and taking trades where it's not necessary. I've only allowed myself to exit using either my phone or my desktop terminal, but that's the limit of it. And that's only down to convenience because exiting does not require any further analysis or confirmations. Once the alert is triggered, I'm looking for the exit. That's all. Distractions wise, we're planned the day out. We know what we're going to do for the rest of today. So I can focus back onto my other job and focus on getting income from my other endeavors, which is something that over the past 3 months, I've not been able to look at. I've just been so locked into trying to trade, trying to get income from trading, but I've been abandoning all my other endeavors. So I don't want that to happen anymore. I want to be focused here and I want to be focused elsewhere as well. Forecasting and setup condition, we just ran through that this 10 minutes ago. A plus plan, we're still looking for buys, even though we're into all-time highs. I will only be convinced of a seller once my thresholds are broken downwards with my alerts. My outcomes and plan execution is very simple. Either I go in Asia or I go in London. Oh, what relief. And I'm in sync with the market so far. So that is it for me today. It has been a quick 5-minute pre-session today. Nothing major to report. And we'll see you tomorrow bright and early. We might execute London today, and depending on how the market shapes up, we will be in for Asia tomorrow. So there's no rush. We'll let the time pass by. We'll see you in the market tomorrow.